Hey guys, today I want to talk about game sense. So this will cover a little bit of lurking and a little bit of clutching. Now first and foremost, let's talk about lurking. Now I know you want to be that get right style player, you know, you are in a weird spot, you get like 2 picks because they're not expecting you there, and then you come in and you clutch around and you're a huge hero, your team loves you, and blah blah blah. Well, you're never going to be a get right style player. Let's face the facts. I mean, the chances of you being that level of a player is pretty slim. Now, the other day, I was playing in a Dust 2 pug here, and we had a guy all the way over here in tunnels trying to lurk, and he really wasn't doing anything useful. You know, someone would throw like a smoke grenade and throw a flash into tunnels, and he'd be like, oh yeah, they just used that, and then he continued to sit here, nobody would push, he wouldn't even rotate down into lower tunnels here to watch our back while we pushed along. So I guess the point I'm trying to get to here is, you need to realize when it's appropriate to lurk and when it's not. So, we were having a little bit of trouble taking long here, and we would flash in, flash would be bad, we'd blind each other or something like that, and then we get picked, and then we push out, get the trade or whatever, and then this guy in pit would take down another guy, we get the trade, and then it would be 2 players left pushing long here, while there's still another player holding sight, and then meanwhile, this guy is all the way over there in tunnels, still just not really doing anything useful. He's like, yeah, I'm waiting for rotators. Well, if you're sitting in tunnels waiting for rotators, they could easily come out mid pretty easily and ruin our day, because again, we're only 2 people, and you're not really watching for rotates, you're just sitting in tunnels. You know, you're not even pushing lower tunnels, looking into mid doors there. So, you really need to understand when it's appropriate to lurk. Now, let's say this went a little bit differently, you know? We flashed in like this, it popped, we got the opening pick, we clear this corner, we come in here, pop this guy in the head, and there's still like 4 players alive. Okay, we successfully took long, there's gonna be 1 more guy on site, maybe 1 person stays back, so let's say you want to stay back and be the lurker. You know, you try and smoke this off, let's say it's smoked off, just for the sake of this. So that's smoked off, not that badly though. And you come in here, and now you can wait for rotates, you can be that lurk player, you can say, hey, okay, they're rotating off the beat, one's coming lower tunnels, and you pick them, or you're coming up here on cat, clearing your angles, of course. You know there's probably going to be a person in CT by this point because you're still pushing along, and you're sitting here. Maybe you don't show yourself, maybe you do, maybe you help your team and you pick this guy on cat, and then you jump down into here, waiting for those rotators, and you're being that lurk player, sitting over here in spawn. Maybe you throw a smoke like that, or throw a smoke down here. And again, you're sitting here at the edge of the smoke, waiting for them to push. You're being that kind of pain in the ass player. I realize this isn't like that much of a lurk role right now, because your team is still pushing long and you've successfully taken the site. But if you're being in that position where you're kind of catching those players off guard, you know, you're way down here, let's say you are all the way in tunnels here. You hear a guy push out, he doesn't notice you, then you come in and you shoot him in the head as he's trying to jump up the box, kill him, and then you come down into mid here, and you catch this last player off guard. Then you successfully kind of help your team out by catching those rotates by lurking. So, realize when it's appropriate to lurk and when it's not really appropriate. You know, you gotta make sure you're playing the game as a team. You don't want to go off trying to be that hero, because probably, say, like 70% of the time, you're really not going to be effective at it. You're just kind of hurting your team in the end. So now on to the subject of clutching. So first and foremost, you need to just take a step back and assess the situation. How many players are you going against? If you're going against 5 players and you're just the one, you definitely probably should not go for it, unless it's the last round or something. Now let's say it is 1 versus 4, 1 versus 5, and you're not going to go for it. Well, take a look at your economy. Should you make an attempt to go for exit frags to hurt them? So if they're on a pretty solid economy, and you're on, you know, you have $5,500 left, you can buy next round regardless, your team is in a pretty good economical situation as well. Yeah, you should probably go for exit frags, especially if the enemy team is not on a very good economy. If they just won this round, they lost a bunch in a row, their economy's kind of weak, but they won this round, yeah, you should probably go for exit frags, make them rebuy those weapons, and, you know, if you die, so what? You try to get exit frags. If you get 1 or 2 kills, it will be worth it, and even if you lose your rifle, it will be worth it. Now, if their economy is pretty strong and your economy is pretty weak, but you have a rifle in your hand, you probably shouldn't go for those exit frags. You should probably try as much as you can to save that rifle Especially if you have someone who is a super good fragger, super good at holding sights, and maybe you're not doing so well, you can give them that rifle next round, and maybe have a better chance at getting that eco round or whatever. So take that into consideration. A second thing you need to take into consideration is how far ticked is the bomb. Do you have 40 seconds? Do you have 30 seconds? Do you have 10 seconds? If you have 10 seconds, you probably shouldn't do it, even if it is a 1 versus 1. Because, you know, even if you get the pick, you still have to run all the way over here, and that's easily, you know, 5 seconds. Do you have a kit? Well, you killed the guy, yeah, but you don't have time. You have to run away anyways. So you gotta take into consideration the bomb timer. How long ago was the bomb planted? And if you're on MM, 45-second bomb timer. Pretty much everything else, 35 seconds. So take that into consideration.
Throwing flashbang.
Throwing flashbang? Well, do you have utilities? Can you throw a smoke on the site like this? You know, flash in, get an opening pick, and then go from there? Do you have those utilities to work with? If not, then, you know, maybe it's still doable if it's a 1 versus 1, 1 versus 2, maybe 1 versus 3. Do you know where the enemies are? You know, did your team say, hey, they planted the bomb, one went into Goose, I saw one go to Car, and then I saw one go into CT. If you have that information, you are at such a good advantage, especially if the opponent does not know where you're going to be coming from. And if you're stomping around, then this guy in CT can probably hear you coming up cat, but if you're taking it slow, you still have 40 seconds, you know, they don't know where you are. Get the opening pick on Goose, now they know where you are. You know that there's going to be a guy, either Car or Long, because your teammate called that. Get that pick, you know there's a guy CT, maybe you have a smoke. Throw one down here, and then you can try and make a play by defusing the bomb, and so on and so forth. Now, again, on the subject of nades, if you have nades and you know it's a 1 versus 1, you can't find the guy, you know, you're trying to fake it, you're tapping the bomb, you're looking around, he's not really showing, he's reading you like a book. Well, if you have a flash, what you can do is hold the bomb. I can't press E because of the stupid buy menu, but you hold the bomb, and then you throw a flash out. Or alternatively, you throw a flash out, and then hold the bomb as it's about to pop, so he covers up that sound. Then you might be able to get the little ninja diffuse off, or if they read it, then, you know, you tried at least. And then, on the subject of bombs, do you know where the bomb is planted? Okay, let's say you're coming up along here, you're not seeing anybody, they're not showing, it's a 1 versus 1, maybe a 1 versus 2, but you see that the bomb is planted for cat. You know, you come in and you see that the bomb's planted for cat, you're gonna instantly be like, okay, there's at least going to be one guy cat. Chances are he's probably going to be either cat, or he could be in this corner right here. So maybe you tap the bomb, and then you look cat, you sit behind this box to maybe get some cover, or you tap the bomb and come back here, look over here, listen, nobody shows, you tap the bomb again, check another angle. If he peeks, great, you can try and get the pick, or if you have nades, you can smoke him off. That's going to force him to push out into the open through the smoke, and you're going to have a huge advantage. So those are some things that you need to take into consideration, and I'm going to hop into a demo here to kind of show you a little bit of both. Okay, so here we are in a terrorist-sided round, and you'll notice in a couple seconds once this round starts, let me just fast forward this here. So I'm sitting here, I think I end up late buying something or I'm typing or something, but I do get a little bit of a late start. I must have been typing. And so I'm like, alright, I got a late start. My team is pushing in, and I know for a fact that they always play at least one guy in connector, and a lot of times he comes up here and catches us off guard. So because I got a late start, I'm going to start lurking here. And my team is pushed up, nobody has died yet, so I have a pretty good situation to lurk. And just gonna resume here for a second, whoops. So now I'm sitting here listening. My team gets a pick, now I know that they're going to be rotating at least one player off of B, maybe towards connector. And I'm still listening. I think I hear like one footstep, I hear a firefight, so now I know I need to engage them. They're distracted, I need to come up from behind. And I catch this guy off guard, almost miss the spray. I know that one more player is up on the stairs, and I rotate out. So I've successfully caught that guy off guard. I think you can see him. Wow, the fucking timing, yeah. After I kill him, and now I'm here helping my team. Because I got that pick, we're ready to push into the site. I'm gonna throw a smoke for bank, I believe, yep. I'm gonna throw that smoke for bank, and we're pushing into the site. Trying to get that opening pick for the site. Now we throw some nades, we get that pick. And now it's a 2 versus 4. One guy's on 1 HP. And things go south pretty quickly. Now it's a 1 versus 2, a 1 versus 1. I know where one person is. Okay, he's dead. And then I heard this guy here throw a nade, so I know where he is. I know that position. I can kind of get a more forward position and be aggressive. And the reason I'm being aggressive is because I killed this guy. Where am I here? I killed this guy over in here. So obviously his teammate's going to call, hey, this guy is sitting on truck. This teammate is going to be coming up here and instantly looking truck. So he has the advantage here, but I also have an idea of where he is. I know he threw a nade. And so he's going to be coming in here. And I spot him. I catch him with a nade out, which he didn't really do anything too wrong there. Maybe he overpeaked a little bit. He shouldn't have thrown a flashbang while peeking. But he did a good thing here. He knew I was going to be either right here or I might have rotated out towards this area here. So he's going to be throwing a flashbang either. I think it probably would have been better to throw a flashbang over or something, you know, instead of coming all the way out here. But he knew where I was and he did the smart thing, trying to use nades to flush me out. But unfortunately for him, I knew where he was. I had a good idea. I knew he probably wouldn't be coming from behind me. And I believe he did throw a nade there. So I had information and he had information. But in the end, he just played it a little bit worse. So hopefully this kind of gives you an idea of when to lurk and how to quickly assess the situation, find out the information you need to make that play. And again, this guy, he had a huge advantage. He knew where I was because I killed this player. And that information, unfortunately, wasn't enough. He was a little bit low in health, but he knew I had to be right here. And given the time, I had to be either here or somewhere in this area trying to rotate out, changing my position. So he could probably catch me off guard if I didn't take that aggressive play. And taking that aggressive play, I think, is what won us the round. So let's take a look at this one more time, maybe a little bit slower. Okay, so I'm going to fast forward this, or close out. So again, I get this late start. And sorry for the glitchy looking demo. So my team, they're pushing up here. Let's take a look at someone else's perspective. They're looking in their angles, they're clearing angles. They don't really get a pick yet. They spot this guy. And he ends up going down. So now I know, okay, I can commit to this lurk. I don't have to push up. If one of my teammates had died, I would stop lurking immediately and run back up into here to help my team. So I realized they're pushing into party here. They're going to be checking bathrooms here and short A. Now, I'm listening here. I hear the gunfight. I decide to jump down. They're going to be distracted. They're not going to be able to hear me come down. So I jump down and I hear this guy running up. I stop. I get a weird kind of, probably shouldn't have gotten that kill spray. Made that guy mad. I rotate my position. I get out of there. That guy knows where I am. He knows there's a guy just sitting up by ladder here. And he's still sitting up here checking that angle. I get out of there. My team says, okay, we're going to be pushing long. And Penny here got that pick. And that is when I knew 100%, 100, I can't draw, percent, we're going to be committing to the A site. We're pushing the A site hard. Gonna just check our backs one last time, make sure nobody's immediately there. And we're gonna try and take this site fast. So, again, we set up here. Let's take a look at Dabs here. I think he's 6. He's checking angles. Sucklude here is tapping at bank. I kind of messed up the smoke. It's pretty bad smoke. Oh no, I still haven't even thrown it. Okay, there we go. So I throw the smoke. He's clearing his angles. There's nobody there. Psychopath here, or Sukapath. He sees there's nobody there. Finds the angle. Clears on truck, or at least gets the information. He probably shouldn't have gotten that kill because he was jumping. And we take the site. And then again, things go south. We know there's one guy in bank. Right here. And we know that one guy likes to come from back here. And I do want to take a look at this guy. I want to see if he actually threw a flashbang. So he's here. Okay. Yeah, he killed a teammate. That's how we knew he was there. Okay. So he killed a teammate. We have a good idea of where he is. And again, he's not really sure where I am at this point. He's checking angles. He sees that I kill his teammate. He tries throwing that flash to flush me out, but unfortunately he ends up going down. So, notice how I gathered as much information as I could, looked at my team's position, and waited for an opportunity to strike as a lurk player. instead of just running off all the way over here and sitting here waiting for someone to push, and then my team pushing up alone, you know? I got a position that I knew would be advantageous to me. I waited for the opportunity, waited for my team to get that opening pick, waited for these guys to rotate, and then I engaged in lurking, and as soon as I got that pick, I fell back. They knew where I was, no reason for me to lurk anymore. I did my job and helped my team out. So hopefully this video kind of helped you guys understand how to quickly assess a situation, realize when you should lurk, when you shouldn't lurk, when you should stop lurking and help your team, and how you can kind of just gather all the information you have, a lot of information immediately, and end up winning the round, helping you clutch. So as always, thank you all very much for watching, and see you next time.